what up? Coach Acie here with another episode, a very special episode of the Acie Talks podcast. So I'm here with Nick Appolon from Appolon Tattoos. So Nick, tell me a little bit about yourself and tell me a little bit about your business, man. What are you doing?
Well, I'm turning 30 in like 2 weeks. I'm from Ottawa. I've been living in Toronto for around 3 years now, and yeah, man, I'm a tattoo artist, and I moved here because Toronto, like, is a city that I really vibe with. I've always vibed with the city, man. It's always been like a move I wanted to make. Ottawa's cool now, but I feel like, especially for my work, Toronto's a bigger market, and it has a lot more opportunities within that realm, So yeah, man. So yeah, I'm tattooing out in Toronto full time.
Yeah. So how'd you get started?
Hey man, like basically, like I was just like drawing and painting like since I was a kid, and it felt like a natural transition. So when I was like 17, 18, I knew I wanted to go into tattooing, but I know my parents weren't really feeling that, so they wanted me to just do this whole school thing first, like go to college, which was cool. Like I kind of wanted to do it too a little bit. But they really wanted me to. They weren't feeling the tattooing thing, so they were really pushing the whole college thing. So I went ahead and did it. I went to graphic design. I was in there for 5 years for a 3-year program because I failed the same core class twice. So I had to like wait an entire year to redo it because there's no summer school for that course. So if you fail something, you're really stuck. So that delayed everything, and I finished all that, and then finally. I wanted to drop out after I failed it for the first time, but my family kind of wanted me to just get it over with, finish it. So I finished it, man, just to finish something, and finished, graduated, jumped straight into tattooing from there.
So why didn't your parents want you to tattoo?
I don't know, man. They have like that old school mentality, like tattooing is for like it's for like criminals and all that shit, man, like criminals or bikers and stuff like that. But they weren't, they're Haitian, so they weren't really like feeling that whole thing. But they came around a lot, like full 180.
True.
Yeah.
As soon as the money started coming in, for sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Nick actually did one of my tattoos too. It's actually the one on my arm right here. So, you mentioned that you started tattooing because of your love of art, your love of drawing, and then you went to school for graphic design too, which is also very artsy.
Yep.
If you can do one, can you do all of them?
Hell no. No, definitely not. I've had that question asked before too, and I've been in graphic design. I told people I'm in graphic design. They're just asking me like, is that like drawing and sketching? Like, no, man. Like it's really digitized, So it's a lot of like web development, web design, UI, UX development. Like when it comes to artwork, logo design, branding, brochures, poster design, like things like that, right? So they're not related at all. Well, closely related, I guess. Like in certain aspects, yeah. But like overall, not really.
Okay. So tell me what like getting started in tattooing was really like. I guess you were an apprentice for a little while.
Yeah. I was an apprentice. That was something, man. It was rough. It was rough at first, especially since my mentor he wasn't the best. He definitely wasn't the best teacher at all. Props for him giving me like a chance, but and after the more I started to learn, the more I started to unlearn. Like I figured that a lot of the things I was taught was dumb. It wasn't really, I don't know. Like he tried, but a lot of the things he did teach me were wrong. So I started excelling like way faster after I got fired from the apprenticeship. Just kind of like figuring things on my own and studying artists on Instagram, what they're doing, how they're like promoting themselves, how they're, I would even like message them sometimes randomly, hoping like maybe sometimes they'd answer. I would just have like random questions for them, artists I don't even know from like the States or wherever they're from. And Instagram contributed a lot, man. I would just, I would study their stuff, take screenshots of the work and just study how like why their work looks a certain way that it does.
Exactly. So, what is like? How does the apprenticeship for tattooing even work, really, though? Because, like, I mean, is it like an official apprenticeship? Like, is it like an officially recognized trade? Like, do you have to do a certain amount of hours before you get approved?
No. It's just kind of self-regulated within the industry.
Okay.
So, most shops most shops won't hire you unless you've been through an apprenticeship, and yeah, you have to find like an artist who's willing. It's really hard to find one, but you have to find an artist who's really willing to take you on, and who has time, and who, you know, a lot of times they make you, well, they do make you bring in your portfolio and your drawings, and a lot of times they'll make you like redraw your drawings or like tell you what's wrong with your portfolio, so you have to keep coming back with your work altered until they finally decide to accept you. And a lot of times they just won't ever end up accepting you. Like, it's a really, really, really tough like industry to get in, which is why a lot more artists these days are becoming self-taught without apprenticeships, which isn't recommended, but artists are doing it, and I understand it. So, yeah. It's a recognized trade, but just self-regulated within the industry.
So what are the benefits of apprenticeship then for the people who do apprenticeship versus the people who are like self-regulated?
Oh man, well, like
self-taught.
Knowing how to set up a station and like not cross-contaminate is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Just like learning the ins and outs like within like a tattoo studio, like an actual professional tattoo studio. Not learning bad habits on your own, because a lot of people that are self-taught, whenever they get into like a professional like area or professional shop, they have to unlearn a lot of bad bullshit habits that they were doing on their own. A lot of them cross-contaminate a lot without noticing it, and you have to like unlearn that. And how to deal with like clients, like in the studio, and basically having a mentor that has done it on a professional level, teaching you instead of you teaching yourself from like YouTube videos or like. And that's not, that's not a bad way to do it. I'm all about like being self-taught and like teaching yourself when nobody else is willing to teach you. But I do think having a mentor teach you is the best way. Even though, like, for example, me, it wasn't the best. But a lot of people, that's not the case. They have amazing mentors that really like steer them in the right direction and teach them proper habits and the proper way to do things, and then you can bloom and like experiment into your own and develop into your own artist and like develop your own style.
I think it's similar for like my industry too as a DJ, because like, I mean, we don't have an official apprenticeship kind of program set up for DJs.
Yeah.
But we do learn from a lot of our older DJs. They may not be the best DJ.
Yeah.
Or they may not, know the best music, or be the best, mixer. But the important things is like, how to run your business, like what equipment to get.
Straight up. And all the
professional. Yeah.
All the artists, man, that I've worked at like a couple shops, and like. There were some good artists, some not so good, but I can say that I've learned something from almost every single artist. Whether it be what not to do, whether it be they're not the best artist, but like their knowledge of like different machines and like different from a technical aspect of like the actual act of tattooing. Some others it might be from an artistic aspect. Like it's just always little things I grab from everybody. So. That definitely was like a big learning, like outside of like me teaching myself from like watching other artists online on Instagram. Having experience working with different artists was also huge for me. Like it was just a combination of everything really. But mostly I think the biggest one was me analyzing artists on Instagram and like studying their work and like just like figuring out what makes their work look so good, or what small, subtle things they're doing that other artists aren't. And that was it's a combination of everything, man. So being around different people, learning from different people is so important.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if you've never had a tattoo before, like the amount of blood that you deal with, and the amount of sanitation and sanitary conditions that you need to have is amazing. So I'm actually like amazed that there's not more like cases where there's like cross-contamination,
yeah, man,
tainted blood, and like mixing HIV and stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of scary, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, AIDS and HIV, it's extremely hard to get from a tattoo, and most every needle comes has a disposable needle. Like nobody's out here really. You can be the worst, dumbest scratcher ever. You're not going to be reusing needles and boiling them before the next appointment comes.
Some people people do that though?
And maybe in the 80s and the 90s, but like nobody's doing that. We're buying needles and they're pre-sterilized. Yeah, like you gotta be sterile, like and like not cross-contaminate and be clean. But I still highly doubt you're gonna get AIDS or HIV. But you can still get somebody sick or hurt them or it's an invasive process basically. You're jabbing somebody's needle like 100 times a minute, 100 sometimes a minute into their skin, and there's blood and there's ink included and plasma. Like you want to be, you gotta be responsible and you gotta be properly educated before just diving into it. You know what I'm saying?
I think it was like an extremely interesting point and like a valid point that you mentioned earlier about keeping on learning and learning what you can about every single person.
Yeah.
Because I think in my career, again as a DJ, that was one of the most important things that like led me to the success that I have today. So like I mean, you can never stop learning in life, I find.
Yeah.
So obviously you have like a big passion for tattooing, right?
Yeah.
Is this a passion that is growing every single day? Do you see yourself doing this for a long time?
I don't even see myself retiring, to be honest. I see myself doing this forever until like my hands don't.
And so what are some of your favorite pieces to do?
My favorite ones are, well, the most that I do personally are black and gray realism. But like I also do color realism, and I do illustrative work. But most clients end up coming for me for black and gray. But I'm gonna start doing some promos soon to like push like my other styles as well, and not just like black and gray realism.
What's illustrative?
Illustrative is almost like it's basically the dimensions are fully customized. The proportions and dimensions are customized, and also you can do like pre-existing characters. Say you're gonna do, I don't know, like Pokemon character, Dragon Ball Z character, but like you kind of like you create, like you add light sources to it and realistic elements and like shading to really like bring it out to life. But it's just like the proportions are still illustrative, but you give it like your own twist with the light sourcing and such. So that's the type of stuff I also really like to do. Color or black and gray for when it comes to illustrative, and yeah, color realism. I really enjoy that too.
What don't you like to do?
I don't know, man. Just like black. Like I don't like to do like traditional, like American traditional, tribal kanjis, shit like that. Like I mean,
what's kanjis? Is that like the characters, like Asian characters? Like
no, it's just like Asian, like Asian letters that everybody used to get back in the 90s.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like early 2000s. Yeah. I mean, like that. It doesn't really. It's cool. I mean, I'll do it. If you want to pay me to do it, and I'll do the best possible job. I do it at the best of my abilities. But it's still just not something that's like mentally stimulating for me. And it's cool. I know a lot of artists. I mean, I don't want to disrespect artists like that are really into like American traditional, but I don't know, man. It's repetitive and it's flat.
It's kind of going out of style too, right? Because like you see like tattoos. I mean, even though they're permanent in your body, like a lot of them kind of go out of style. Like for example, the tramp stamp, and then like the new tramp stamp, I guess, is like the side rib for a girl.
Yeah, man. Like American traditional is definitely starting to go out of style. Like I know like some artists will hate me for saying that, but it definitely is. Nobody really wants to do that much traditional anymore. Like there are like the fans of it that only do traditional, but now you walk around, you see everybody getting like a ton of different styles. Especially like realism is really starting to, it's really like has taken over and dominated the industry now. Yeah, that's not a knock to any traditional artists out there.
I mean, I guess like the armband is kind of going out of style too, right? Like people doing armbands and stuff like that.
It's just been out of style.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. But like there's a lot of styles, man. There's styles for everybody. But I just do what I love, which is like black and gray realism and then color realism and illustrative, and traditional artists can do what they love. And stick to doing traditional. That's cool.
Have you ever done any cover-ups?
Yeah, I've done a lot of cover-ups. And they're alright. It's fun, man. I don't mind doing cover-ups at all. It just takes a little more planning. But I enjoy doing cover-ups.
Are they challenging to do?
Sometimes, depends. But most things can be covered. It just has to be properly planned, and the client has to be willing to go at least 2 times the size of the original piece. Sometimes, you know, a little more. Like, ideally, probably like 4 times. 4 times the size will give me like a perfect, like usually a perfect cover up. But sometimes you don't want to go that big, so it might get a little trickier. So you really gotta, you know, plan it out a little better than you would if it was they're willing to go larger. Yeah.
Do you remember, like, what's been your favorite piece so far that you've ever worked on?
Favorite piece? I have a couple, man. I have a couple. I worked on a cool one the other day, like it's an underwater shark sleeve, or it's not just sharks, but it's like octopus in there. It's gonna be like a sea turtle, and it's gonna be, you know, and it's like part of it is underwater, and then we're gonna have the above ground portion of it that we're gonna do on the upper half of his leg.
Oh, it's on his leg. Okay.
Yeah, man. So that's been like one of my favorite ones to work on. The one I worked on with you was pretty fun.
Yeah.
There was a hard locket I did a little while ago, like with some color realism. That was dope because I don't always get to do color, so like whenever I get the chance, like it's a lot of fun. And that one turned out really well. Yeah, man. Honestly, anything where I can I don't know, be creative or like recreate some sick black and gray reference. Is what I really enjoy to do.
How about bad pieces? You ever had any bad pieces that you've done, like ones that you didn't like to do?
I've had ones that I did enjoy doing, and then there's ones that turned out still.
Yeah.
Especially like the first year tattooing. First year is always rough for any artist.
Yeah.
They'll never tell you, but it's rough. There's a lot of ups.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. That's how you learn, right?
How does that feel though? Because I mean, it's like this is something on this person's body like forever. Like,
that's why you don't charge a lot when you first start out, you know.
True.
So
a lot of risk.
I mean, that's every artist goes through it, and that's how you learn, man. You kind of feel bad, but sometimes, but you get over it, and you just learn from it. Make sure to not forget that mistake. Make sure it's like implanted in your brain, like, you know, and like make sure to really learn from that and not do that again, or approach it differently next time you approach a similar piece, or next time, because like tattooing, man, it's basically all about like solving visual problems as you go, technical and visual problems as you go. So it's like if you really have a gut, like next time you run into that like visual or technical problem, you'll know how to approach it.
I mean, that's the only way to practice really tattooing is when you tattoo on people, right? Is there any other way to practice to work on your skills besides like actually tattooing?
You can tattoo yourself, but the whole like pigskin thing, it helps with like technique a little bit for like some apprentices, but it's not the same. Definitely not the same. And like tattooing on a human being is the best practice you'll get. Yeah, and tattooing yourself helps too. But like it helps, but it's hard to focus on the actual piece itself when you have to like focus on blocking out the paint. So it kind of interferes with that. So yeah, man, just tattoo people, but make sure you have a mentor, like to make sure you're prepared and ready before going in on an actual human being and tattooing that person.
So now you mentioned to me that you've been tattooing for about 3.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And your business has grown like every single year by quite a bit.
Yeah.
So let's talk to me about that growth and like, you know, what were the key things that you did to grow your business over those 3.5 years?
Staying really active on Instagram was huge, man. Like I get a lot of bookings through Instagram. So that, you know, just posting, make sure my content is like consistently high quality. That's been really, really beneficial. And then it just making sure that I brand myself in a really professional and clean way, like from my Instagram page. Like I have like my whole logo, you know, I have like kind of like a brand identity that I'm kind of like starting to push. And yeah, like word of mouth helps a lot, and doing like basically like just kind of just trying to like target like my demographic on Instagram and trying to spread my brand as much as possible online and in person. Whenever I'm out, I make sure to have business cards on me. There's a lot of different ways to grow your business, but word of mouth is huge. Word of mouth and Instagram is pretty good for me.
Now, do you have goals for your business? Like, where do you want to take your business? What does it look like? Where you want to go?
Right now I work at a private studio, and eventually I want to like open up like a commercial spot, and then this is like my 2-year goal. Have like a commercial spot that I'm running, open my own shop. Maybe have one apprentice and then one person working under me. So that's my 2-year goal.
Okay. So what are the benefits of actually having like a commercial space? Because right now you're working out of your own place. Mm-hmm. You don't have to pay any additional rent or anything like that for a space.
Yeah.
Is it the walk-in traffic?
Walk-in traffic, yeah, basically. Walk-in traffic is pretty huge. It can be really beneficial, especially to your workers that are working under you. So they have to eat. So walk-in is their bread and butter. So yeah, man. It's good to have like a registered business and just have like a shop brand that they can build and and grow.
Well, okay, so let's say a couple of apprentices walk into the door, they want to start working for you and stuff like that. What do you want to see in an apprentice?
So they have like a drawing background and they're that they're actually committed. I know a lot of people that ask me about apprenticeships before, and like maybe a year ago, and they're trying to get into tattooing, and 1 year later, it's like you have no new drawings, you have no nothing, so you're probably gonna fail. You're not driven for it. You're not made for it. Probably, most likely, because like you have no drive. If you had drive, you would have been drawing as much as possible, trying to improve your artistic skills as much as possible, instead of just wanting to get into tattooing just to get into tattooing. There's got to be a drive there. So I have to see that drive, and you have to have like bring some paintings, some drawings that are like high quality. If you can do that, then and show that you have work ethic, and I like your personality, and you seem like you can like hold a conversation with people and be personable and be friendly, and because that's important, man. Because like knowing how to deal with clients is just as important. You have to have the whole package eventually, and eventually, but you'll probably find a home for an apprenticeship.
When you're talking about let's talk about some of the top tattoo artists who are out there. What is their number one quality that makes them such a good tattoo artist? Is it the fact that they draw all the time and that they sketch all the time?
Yeah, man. A lot of times, yeah. Like drawing and painting will make you 100% a better tattoo artist, and doing that on a regular basis will make you a way better artist on skin. I know artists, man, that tattoo, for do a 9-hour tattoo, and then they go right home, and then they're painting for hours on end, or drawing for hours on end, like personal drawing, just to like sharpen their skills. Like that's what it really takes to take it to the next level.
All right, so tell me, on the flip side, the people who fail at tattooing, and most of the people, or some of the people who fail at tattooing, why did they fail?
Well, man, like the industry has gotten like to a point where like the artists that are like dominating the industry are so good and so artistically dope that like you can't just get into tattooing and treat it like it's like the 90s and like the 2000s. And I know OGs would probably think I'm some like pretentious new artist saying all this bullshit, but they know it's true, right? Like you can't just be like be having the same mentality back then. It's just like as long as you can pull solid lines and follow the purple stencil line and fill in black or fill in color, then you're good to go. Like nah, man, like or just because you know how to do like a traditional rose, like you're good. Like nah, bro, like you're probably gonna get eaten alive, and you're gonna be like hurting for clients. And again, I know a lot of artists are probably gonna get cheesed that I'm even saying that, because they're traditional artists and they're booked up pretty nicely. But I'm speaking like for the majority of artists that want to get into this, you gotta be versatile artistically, and you gotta, I don't know, man, you gotta bring some to the table that's like that's comparable to like these fucking superstars, man. That like all these like clients are following. These clients are so much more educated now about the industry as opposed to before, and they're exposed to really good work on Instagram all the time, their news feed. So if your stuff doesn't even come close to comparing to that artistically, how do you think you're going to be pulling new clients all the time? You know, like it's you got to step your game up. You know, it's not like before where, like I said, follow the purple line and fill in the color. It's way beyond that.
I know nowadays there's like, I mean, tattooing itself as an industry and as a culture has grown so much.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, you mentioned earlier about your parents thinking it was just like for gangsters and like bikers and stuff like that. Now it's like so mainstream that it's on TV too.
Yeah.
You know, you have like, you know, Kat Von D has her own TV show, and there's like, what's that guy? Dave Navarro has his own TV show too.
Yeah.
About tattooing and competitions around that. So that's, I mean, I guess that's huge for your industry.
Yeah, it is, man. And it's you know, I know artists are kind of angry that, you know, the shows are just like ruining tattooing, and it's like,
why is that? How is it ruining tattooing though?
It's making it like, I don't know, man. Like, this is like, again, people are bitter when something gets too mainstream. They get angry.
Okay.
Same with music. If there's rap is getting too mainstream, like they feel like it's a bad thing. But this is the opposite. It's getting mainstream, and the artists are getting better.
Yeah.
Not like rap music where, like, you know, it's getting mainstream, but the artists are getting worse and it's getting dumbed down and watered down. This is the opposite. So I don't know why anybody would be angry that it's getting more mainstream. But I don't know. I think the TV shit is good. I'm not really a fan, like, for my own personal reasons. I don't like how what's that show called, Hitmaster?
Yeah.
I don't like how it's structured at all. But it's cool. It's good for the industry. It's good. Like, puts more money in our pockets. Makes people like want to get tattooed more. So I don't know. That's a bad thing, right?
So what do you love most about tattooing, and what do you hate most about tattooing?
I love that it's like, I don't know, like I love everything about it, man. Like, honestly, I love like that I get to do something that I truly look forward to, like enjoy. If I have a tattoo coming up that I'm excited about, I'm gonna be like excited about it, and I'm gonna be like planning how I'm gonna approach it, and I'm just because like I'm anticipating it in like a really good way, and it's just something that I don't feel like, doesn't really feel like work. It feels like something I would probably do like on paper, except like I do it on skin, right? And when it's a passion, it doesn't feel like work. When you're chasing that passion, trying to get better constantly, it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a task. So that's what I love about it. I get to work every day, go to work every day, and just truly, genuinely, really enjoy what I do and want to get better every day. What I don't like about it sometimes is clients, man. That's clients that come in and just try to, like, you know, dictate the consultation at times when it's something that can't be done, but they try to dictate it as if they know that it can be done. But again, most clients aren't like that. Most clients are actually cool as it's rare that I've had clients like that, but those bad experiences, you know, or sometimes, you know, like it's like tattooing, it's tricky in the sense of like healing. Like, you might get like a really bad heal, but you don't really know why, because you've done the exact same thing for the last 20 tattoos you did. And so it really depends on how this person's skin reacts sometimes, and or how they treated it, how they conducted the aftercare, but whatever the reason may be, a lot of times you might be the one that gets blamed for it. So that's also kind of the part about it sometimes. But you know, other than that, like, it's all good for me, you know, and yeah, I'm doing something I'm passionate about.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, a tattoo is forever, you know, and I know even though it's a lot more popular now than it used to be, you know, sometimes tattoos are like very sentimental for some people.
Yeah.
But what does a tattoo itself mean to you?
It's art. That's it. It's art, man. It can mean whatever you want. It can have like really like sentimental meaning. It can have literally no meaning, but just like the art. Like, people buy art for the walls, man. In their house, if you hang it up on the walls, it doesn't mean necessarily has like some deep sentimental meaning to it. It could just be because you like the art. So same thing, like that's a lot more common for tattooing these days. People just getting it because it looks dope.
Yeah.
Rather than just the meaning. But again, people do get. I think most of the people that get a tattoo, it has some sort of meaning, whether or not be as sentimental or not. There's some sort of meaning behind it, but you know yeah, it's art. It's up for the person to decide what it means to them.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Because to me, it's like that too. It's like it's art, it's expression, right?
Yeah.
Because like back in the day, and people still do it nowadays. Like someone comes up with a new tattoo, what's the first thing someone asks, right? Like, what does it mean? What's it for? But it doesn't necessarily have to mean anything, especially nowadays where like you get like full arm sleeves and you're really just trying to fill up skin at some points, really too, right? So
true.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm happy with the tattoos I have. Like, I have probably like 11, 12 tattoos on my body too. And like, at this point, it basically becomes an addiction. You just want to keep getting more. Yeah, so
too many empty spaces.
For sure, man. Yeah. Every time you look at empty space on your arm, you're just like, man, I gotta fill that up with something. So like, I'm at that point right now. It's about to get real expensive.
Yeah.
But do you have a message for like any young people or like people who want to get into tattooing? Maybe they're into art a little bit. Like, what's your message for these type of people?
Just grind, man, and yeah, just grind it out, and don't stop drawing, don't stop painting. Don't be lazy. You can't expect to really like get into tattooing and not put in the work. Like, like I said, people have inquired me about like apprenticeships. I'm not gonna apprentice anybody, man. I'm 3.5 years in, right? Like, I'm not at that point yet, but they were inquiring about it, talking about it, and then yeah, a year later they haven't drawn anything new, but they still expect to get into tattooing and an apprenticeship. And I mean, their drawings. There's one person, their drawings were trash, or terrible. So I mean, like, you should probably try to improve if you're serious about getting into tattooing, right? But yeah, man, I don't know. Follow your passion. If this is what you want to do it. Like, just do it. Go shop to shop. Go to like 20 different shops. Try to talk to the owner. See what they say. Try to land one, man. Try to land an apprenticeship and then go from there. If you're down for the grind and down to put in the work.
So I imagine like attention to detail is like so important when you're tattooing.
Yeah.
Like, is it super important to you to be like a perfectionist when you're tattooing?
I think so. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You want it to be the best that it could possibly be, right? So yeah, attention to detail is important. Being able, like, if your client's in some pain, like knowing how to like coach them through it, or use, I use a lot of a lot of times I use Vasecaine, so like really helps like numb the pain after the skin is open, so it helps me be able to just like relax the client, so I can just focus on my don't have to like worry about them like moving around or complaining. That one day I was tattooing a guy's ribs, and holy man, this guy would not stop moving around, and he was in pain, and like he was rolling around, man. I couldn't even pull a straight line at all on him, and like it was impossible, and he was sweating, and like it was like I was losing the stencil from the intense sweating. I was just like, yo, I couldn't do it. So then finally I was like, out of desperation, I was just like, call it, man, I need help. And he suggested Vasecaine, and I'm just like, I'll take anything at this point that's gonna help. And so I just like kind of like quickly like I quickly scratched in like the rest of the stencil, like, and then and then I took the Vasecaine bottle, I sprayed it on him, and then it was like night and day. He finally stopped moving, and bro, it made my job so much easier. So it's like a miracle spray. So now I just use it all the time for all my clients, man. After I finish tattooing my base, then I spray it in, and I finish out the rest. Because like I said, you gotta open the skin first, and you can't put it on too early because you don't want to lose your stencil from spraying on the Vasecaine. So it helps, man. I like just focus on my work, focus on the art, not have to like yell at the client, or just like try to calmly coach the client to like sit down and deal with the pain. So it helps.
I'm surprised like more artists don't use it.
I know. A lot of the artists I talked to about it was like, I'd rather just, they gotta earn the tattoo. I was like, okay, but I always see a lot of artists like rushing through a tattoo, because the artist and the client's in so much pain, so you're really like compromising your own work for not like finding a solution for that. And even like other things, like you know, wanting to get the whole thing done so you can get a clean picture of it at the end instead of, you know, having the client come back and then get a half healed, half, you know, half fresh, like, you know, like there's just so many benefits to it. I don't see why not more people use it, but to each their own, though. That's just like my preference, personally.
So where can everybody find you?
On Instagram, man. So Appolon or Appolon, that's how you actually say it, but we'll say just Appolon, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's Appolon_tattoos. That's basically it, and that's where you can find me. You can DM me for inquiries. You can, and my email's also like listed in my bio on my Instagram page. So you know, if you want to inquire about a consultation, just you can email me too, or just DM me, man, whatever you prefer.
Dope, man. Thanks so much for coming on to this episode. You did a great job for your first time. Make sure you guys check him out.
Hell yeah, bro.